Yeah, bitches! Fuck your enemies. That is Philip Anselmo and Superjoint Ritual. And we did a little Pantera before that with Hole in the Sky. It is Chris Aiken. It is your classic metal show. Neely out and about. He's texting me fucking work shit. Stop it, motherfucker. Shit. Fucking A. Dude, you know, Don's sitting here and he's not real happy with the fucking website because you can't see the tour date. Leave me alone. It's fucking showtime. Fuck. I love you and all, Don, but fucking A, this be like me coming out mid-fucking set saying, hey, dude, you know, I know you're singing Alone Again in a minute, but by the way, man, I really don't like the boots you're wearing tonight. What the fuck?
You're a fashion consultant for
right.
Dokken now?
I mean, shit. You know, I mean, all right, I get it. You can send me an email that says fucking fix the website tomorrow.
How do you really feel?
I feel like I don't want to work tonight, man. This is a fucking drinking party night, man. It's time to fucking party, man. And, you know, we just played a little bit of Philip Anselmo, and I did have the chance to hang out with Philip, last week? A week ago, Tuesday, I guess it was, or two weeks ago, Tuesday, whatever it was.
Yeah,
and
we go Tuesday.
You both have met Philip, haven't you?
I have not. Oh, wait, no, I did. I lost my job over that. That's right.
A long time ago
That's
with
right.
you. I think that was, MBL days.
You met him with me?
Yes.
Everybody meets Philip
Yeah.
Anselmo with
Of course.
You were interviewing him, and there were 2 or 3 women on the bus with him that he was trying to get to take care of you. And you kept just, no, thanks. Well, are you sure, man?
Yeah.
You know, I could just, hey, why don't you take care of him?
And being that I ended up divorced, what a dumbass I am for not doing it.
You need to take this blowjob, bro, and let these chicks lick your nuts.
That's pretty much what it was. He's like, no, I got to get the interview done.
Yeah, that does sound like the old days of Philip. I don't remember this specifically, but I don't doubt that this happened. Well, you know, Philip is one of the things that is very cool with him right now is that he's very healthy. And, I mean, I've known Phil for a lot of years. You know, basically since Pantera came up, you know, I used to actually go and see Philip and Pantera play before Cowboys came out. When I was living in California, they used to play a club all the time called the Stone. And it was over in San Francisco. And Pantera played there a lot. Like every quarter they would play. So I got to sort of know him. I mean, I didn't really know him, but they would come through. I would go, and I knew all the tunes. I'd be right up front going, yeah, PST 88, motherfucker! Yeah!
Nice. Projects in the Jungle, bitch!
Yeah, no, fuck that. That's that fucking glazed bastard.
Dude.
No, it's all about Philip, man. But, you know, I've known Phil basically for his entire run, and it's just good to see him very healthy again. You know, I mean, there were some years. I could tell you one story that I don't tell it often on the show, but I got asked to intro Down at the Odeon here in Cleveland one year, and when I got asked to intro the band, I also had to do an interview. I had to do an interview, and then we were introing Down. Then I had to run across town and actually do the metal show that night. So they wanted me to take the audio, you know, directly from the show and then play it while Down was on stage. And, you know, for the people that weren't there, they could still feel like they were there and blah, blah, blah. You know, the fucking radio shit. So I did this interview with Philip. It was Philip and it was Pepper from COC fame. And I come into the back room where they were, and it's a little room, way smaller than this little room that we're in tonight. And it's just me and Phil and Matt and Pepper. And they're drinking a bottle of wine that's about as big as my belly. It's this fucking huge.
That's a big bottle of wine.
That's a big fucking bottle. It was like a 2-gallon bottle of wine with this real long neck thing.
Like
Was it Eddie Van Halen's?
And like Pepper.
2-gallon?
Dude, I don't know what it was,
but
but
as big as your belly.
It was, yeah, pretty much.
So it was a tub of wine.
It was 40 gallons of wine, bitch.
It came in a fucking like a whiskey barrel.
It was guaranteed to kill 5 people.
Or get one Chris Aiken mildly buzzed.
Right, exactly. But no, the way this bottle was set up was it was this great big old tub or whatever, and then it had this really long neck type thing. So Pepper was lifting this wine bottle up from the end,
God.
and Philip was on the other end of this real long neck of it, so that they could pour the neck in the neck into Philip's fucking mouth. And I'm doing this interview, and like we're having to get out of the way so that he can get in there to lift this fucking bottle up, so Phil can drink this wine. And it was like, what the fuck am I walking into? And, of course, you know me, I ask hard questions anyway, so I'm asking all these crazy fucking questions, and Philip's ready to punch me, but he's so fucking wasted that he's just like, brother, why are you asking me these questions? Haven't you heard the answers before? But, you know, it was just funny, and Philip is a good dude, and I am certainly glad to see that he's healthy. You know, something we did not talk about on the show last week when we talked about me meeting up with Philip, and John, you can talk about this a little bit, was I asked Philip to do something, you know, outside of normal radio shit. You know, I asked him if he would do like a dedication to a mutual friend's son, you know, for us that's into Pantera. Pantera's like his favorite band. And he did this really cool fucking video, and it's only like 15, 20 seconds or whatever, but it's like the coolest fucking thing. And I swear back in the Philip in the Pantera days probably wouldn't have happened. He'd have been like, nah, don't have fucking time for it, can't do it, whatever, you know. But he's much more normal now, and it was cool. I mean, you could talk about it, John. You saw the video, and
yeah,
it was cool, right?
It was totally badass, man. I was out like working my second job doing pizza delivery, and you're like, check your Facebook. So I go on there, and it was like, you know, it's Phil just looking at the camera. He goes, Dominic Rigdon, I know who you are.
Yeah, it was
and
great.
He left that personal message. It was just so cool, man. It was so badass.
It really was, and he did not have to do all that. You know, he just sort of did, and that was cool. Look at Neely's texting me pictures of him with Robert Mason from Warrant. I'll put that on Facebook in a minute.
Neely's going fanboy tonight.
He really is, but that's okay.
That's
because,
all right.
You know what, man? I mean, it really is kind of the coolness of the way the show has developed these days, is that we can, you know, we can be out, and, you know, I'm out with Anselmo. He knows me. We're having fun with him. We all went and hung out with Dokken and Rat, and it was like we were all old boys. You know, it's just
I'm no one to make a fanboy reference after what I pulled that day.
You were a drunken fan idiot.
Oh, I didn't even know I was doing it, man. That was the funniest thing. I'm sitting there back there going, okay, don't be a fanboy jerk off. Don't be a fanboy jerk off. And in my mind, I'm going, I'm doing great. I'm really mellow. I'm being cool. And I was not being cool at all.
Dude, the best part of it was you're like, I'm not going to be a fanboy. I'm not going to be a fanboy. Let me drink a half of a bottle of this Jesse James whiskey. Now I'm being a fanboy.
Nobody would drink it. No, everyone's
Because
it was
There's
shit.
a reason for that.
Well, fuck it. Hey, it did me just fine.
Yeah, it sure did.
I definitely have proven myself to not be much of a have a very selective palate when it comes to booze, man. I'm just like, hey, does that shit get me drunk? All right, let's go.
Dude, Jesse James Dupree, we're in the lunch or dinner tent, whatever you want to call it, the tent. And Rat's in there, and Dokken's in there, and maybe some of the Jackal guys are in there. I don't even remember. But this bottle shows up of whatever this is, Full Throttle fucking...
It looked like a bottle of Jim Beam almost. It had like a white generic-ass label.
You know what it looked like? It looked like if the fucking welfare department starts passing out whiskey, this would be the bottle. It's just a plain white labeled bottle
It was
of
generic
whiskey.
as shit, dude. It was like the ultimate generic shit.
It really it had a white label with black letters on it. Full Throttle whiskey or something. No fucking cool font, nothing. Just looked like somebody wrote it with a marker. You know, it just looked like this generic shit. And everybody else was taking a mouthful of it and going, oh, okay, you know. We were all doing like the courtesy drink. This motherfucker's drinking it like it's the fucking $600 a bottle. Fucking,
And I don't remember
Smelling
it.
and swishing it around and everything.
fucking scotch.
Oh God.
He's like, yeah, this is fucking great.
On your way to meeting probably the greatest guitarist of all time.
No,
what
that
made you say, I'm going to get really fucked up.
That had already happened.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you're celebrating.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't really
Oh, yeah.
celebrating. It was just like, it was there, and I was like amped. I was on like 12, dude. Like, I was so fucking, like, I'm on stage, and I'm like touching Eddie Van Halen's guitar rig. I stole the pick off of his,
Dude.
off of his
Allegedly.
set list and shit.
I did not see
Did you
that
try
happen.
to say something and something completely different came out of your
No,
mouth? Like,
actually, ironically, the funny thing is when their bus pulled in, Steph was making a joke because Aiken's like, "Do you think you should go get him?" And apparently, she said to him, "No, this is the first time he's shut the fuck up all day." Because me and Scotty are just sitting there. I'm just watching Eddie walk off the bus. I'm like, "Oh my god, it's Eddie Van Halen." I didn't say a fucking word.
How many hands were down your pants?
Oh, dude, none. But it was funny because I was like, there was like a couple security guys, and I was like, "Do you think I could ask Eddie for a picture?" He's like, "No, don't do that, dude. Don't do that." I'm like, "Okay, I won't." Which, of course, immediately I'm like half of the bag. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going to." So as soon as Eddie walks past, I'm like, "Hey, Eddie, what's up?" He goes, "Hey, man, nice to meet you." And I'm like, "Good to see you, man." And I shook hands and everything. I'm like, "Hey, man, can I get a picture?" And he turned, and as he was turning towards me to answer, the security guy butts in the middle and goes, "Hey, what'd I say?" I'm like, sorry. But I totally tried to scam one, dude. It was
Hey,
pretty
he
good.
shook his hand. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Oh, well, dude, what was cool about Eddie was that, and there is some backstory to this. I mean, all the way back to when we got there. We got there early, like 3 o'clock, I guess it was, when we got there. And we got on, Dokken had a trailer. All the bands had their own individual trailer. So we go into the Dokken trailer, and, I'm talking to the guys and whatever, and I sort of moved my way through, and John and Steph and Scotty were talking to Don.
Did you tell the story of what he said to us when we walked in, by the way?
I haven't told it, but
Did
go ahead.
you remember what he said to me and Steph?
I don't remember. No.
That was fucking hilarious because we walk in and you go, "Hey, Don, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, buddy." And he shakes your hand and everything. And then we're behind you, and you walked off to talk to Sean and John.
Yeah.
And he looks at us and he goes, "Are you guys here for pictures?" And I go, "No, man. We're friends with Chris. We're with Chris. It's nice to meet you. I'm John." And he looks at me and he looks at Steph and he points at her and he goes, "So are you here to take pictures?" And she's like, and she looked at me, she didn't know what to say, and I'm like, "No, Don, we're just friends of Chris's. We're hanging out." He goes, oh, well, if you want to drink, go take some of that. There's Jack Daniels, and if you want beer, go ahead and grab it, because I don't know why the fuck they keep giving us beer, because we don't drink it. I was like, all right.
It was, dude.
So he thought we were photographers or something.
It was fucking surreal the way we got treated. It was like we belonged there and we should have been there, and then and we really did just end up hanging out for the bulk of the day. I mean, there's stories that have not been told about me and Scotty getting high with the bass player from Jackal, or fucking you drinking that fucking horrendous whiskey. And there's even more of a story to that, because then Stephen Piercy was looking for some of that whiskey when he was going on stage, and he had Neely running all over the fucking back looking for that fucking whiskey. But you had polished the bottle or whatever, so the bottle was gone.
I don't even remember, dude. I vaguely remember everyone being like, "This shit sucks. Somebody drink it." I was like, okay.
That would have been me.
Yeah.
I took one mouthful of this stuff. And one of my rules anyway, and you know this, John, I think you know this too, Kurt, I don't drink brown liquor anyway. Because
which is why I brought the white whiskey.
Which is
tonight.
perfect.
I noticed that.
Perfect.
White whiskey.
But brown liquor makes me fight. And I did not want to be fighting in a fucking strange town.
Yeah, but also blue vodka
Well,
makes... Dude, we'll get into that later, I'm sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure we
the
will.
Blue Rhino story.
Yeah, there's a lot of drinking problems with me.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that bottle of whiskey that I was chugging off of.
You drank a lot of that, which was very evident when you were fucking on stage, fucking crying and everything.
I don't remember that either. I was so fucking amped up. I must have been like over the top, man.
Oh, I'd say yes. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Since we got a busy schedule and Neely's chomping at the bit to get Jimmy DeGrasso on here with us, let's do this. Why don't we play this interview that I did with the band Havoc and get that out of the way, and then we will come back, and then I will
Do shots.
I'm going to do some shots as soon as I fucking play this interview. But we'll get Jimmy DeGrasso on, and you guys can get your Jimmy DeGrasso knowledge together. And
Dude, does he still
Another-
have that,
another
still have
very
that
cool
junior
guy.
high school show?
Jimmy DeGrasso, what? I don't know nothing about that.
DeGrasso, Degrassi, whatever.
So stop it.
That's
All right,
another
Kurt.
guy who's
well,
really nice.
Kurt, it's been great having you here tonight.
Hey, at least I'm not... Oh,
He's like a live Tim James. Hey,
Yeah.
thanks for calling.
Yeah, exactly. Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we play a little bit of Havoc and get this interview out of the way? Havoc is, of course, a band that is signed to Candlelight Records. They, one of my favorite bands. I do talk about them quite a bit. Their new album is called Unnatural Selection, and it is damn close to my favorite album of the entire year. The only thing I've liked better than it so far is the new Devil Driver.
I thought it was the new James LaBrie.
I thought it was the new Voodoo Brother.
Well, I haven't heard the new Voodoo Brother
Well,
yet.
that's right.
And
That was 2012.
the new James LaBrie does not fall in the category of the
Well, it
Devil
should,
Driver.
'cause it's fucking awesome.
It's okay.
No, it's
good.
awesome.
It's good. I like it. I think I gave it an 85 or something out of 100.
You like the first one better.
I like the one with Freak, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's the previous one.
I like that. I mean, I'm not opposed to James LaBrie except when he's singing 18-minute songs. But
Hey, the new Dream Theater single kicks ass.
okay, that's one song. Unfortunately, there's only 3 others, and they call it an album.
That's okay. That's fine with me. Dream Theater's great.
Have at it. I'm not into it. What I am into is 2 to 3 minute songs by the band Havoc. Nice, straightforward thrash metal. So why don't we check out a little bit of it right now? We're going to play a tune from Havoc called It Is True. We'll talk with Pete Weber from Havoc, and then we'll come back and we'll get a little live Jimmy DeGrasso on the phone, and we'll see where this fucking goes. So let's check it out right now. It is Havoc with It Is True right here
On your classic metal show.